All right, everybody. Good evening. We are back. It's only been a couple days. Uh, you know what? I didn't come out. Last night was rainy and cloudy, really bad. Well, really bad cloudy. It really isn't rainy here. Um, the night before it was super clear. Uh, but my son and I, we went to work extra early, and I was just beat. I didn't want to come out here and do. I didn't even want to push the roof open. Uh, but anyway, we are here tonight. We are back. You know what I forgot to do? Yes, the last time we streamed, I forgot to post a picture of what we streamed. I almost can't remember what we streamed, but no, we streamed. Oh my gosh, what did we stream? I can't even remember. That's how terrible I am. But I will get the pictures up for you on Facebook and on YouTube tonight before I leave the observatory, along with tonight's pictures. I don't know what tonight's pictures are going to turn out, if they're going to turn out really good. We are going to get fly with it tonight. We are going to do the Fly and the Spider Nebula. As you see right there, our ticker, we've got it on here. It is IC 417 and NGC 1931. We're gonna see how this is. These are both these are H2 regions, and they're a lot dimmer. These are not as easy. These are not easier targets. So we're just going to see together how it turns out. Hopefully it's not going to be painful, because we don't like pain here at Starbright Observatory. We like things quick and easy. That's the way we like it. We like it painless. So we'll give it a shot and see. We'll see what happens here. I already got Clyde. Pointed on it. Let's look at Clyde right now. There he is. I got to get more infrared lights. You know what? I'm gonna order them tomorrow, and this way you can see Clyde a little bit better. There's just not quite enough lighting in there. Infrared lighting for you to see. But let's jump over to Stellarium. Now remember, you can get Stellarium on your phone or on your PC free. I think the phone you can actually pay like a one-time fee, and you get I don't know what you get. I haven't paid for it, but I should. But you can get it on your PC for sure, and then you can go around and you can look at the stars on your PC or on your phone. You know what's great about the phone is you can hold it up to the sky and you can actually look around the sky with it, and it'll show you what's out. All right, a little dry in here. But here we are. We are almost east northeast sort of. And we are pretty high in the sky. It's super clear out tonight, but it's a little turbulent. But I think we should be okay. But there we are right there. There's the Spider Nebula, and then there's the Fly Nebula. And we're going to get both of them in the picture, I believe. If you were here in the last stream, I did a quick picture of it and gave you a little preview, and I didn't want to spoil it. Hey, look, there's Bode's Galaxy right there. It's almost up high enough that we can get that. I love Bode's Galaxy. It's awesome. It's one of the first galaxies I ever did. Really, well, the Whirlpool Galaxy, the question mark galaxies, I think one of the first I ever did, but that is not quite up yet. But anyway, there we are. All right, let's see what we can do with IC 417, the Fly Nebula. Now, this isn't Jeff Goldblum the Fly. This is the real Fly. All right, let's see here. Let's keep our gain at 39. That's usually pretty good. We're just going to go with the same settings we sort of always do. If we zoom in here, we're doing pretty good. If you can kind of see, Let me see. If you can see that the stars are, you see they're kind of moving. That's not the mount. That is the turbulence that you see through. Just to give you an idea, the better the seeing is, the more steady this becomes, and of course, the better your picture becomes, the better your guiding becomes. But right now, you'll see it sort of sits in the center, and then it'll sort of jut out left and right, and then back to the center. That is the turbulence, and that is just like when you're driving down the road and you see the heat waves off the road. It looks like a mirage. That's what this is, but it's up in the sky. We're pointed pretty far up. We're pretty far up into the to the zenith. We're not quite all the way to the top, but we are up pretty high on a good angle. The closer you get to the ground with this, the worse your seeing is, because you get all kinds of turbulence in there. And Clyde's a big boy, and with bigger boys come bigger problems when you're trying to see through turbulence. All right, let's see here. Stars focus looks good. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here. All right, now look right here. You can see, I'm just going to zoom into this. You see this right here? This is like an orange or red star. That is crazy, right? Yeah, they come in all different colors. They really do. It's amazing. It looks like there's going to be like a zillion stars in this when we put some time to it. So let's get right into it here. Enough jibber jabbing. All right, let's see here. Let's do a trigger mode. Let's just leave it at 20 seconds and see what happens here. And then we can watch our histogram. All right. Here we go. Let's see. I have no idea how that's even going to turn out. Oh. Oh. That's not bad. That's not bad for a dimmer target. And these are smaller nebula, right? Oh, down here is NGC 1913. That is the Fly Nebula. I don't know if it really looks like a fly, but that is the Fly Nebula. And then this up here, that is IC 417, the Spider Nebula. Now, there's some amazing pictures on the internet of this. I don't think we're going to be quite publishing this to Sky and Telescope tonight, but we are going to do our best to get a good picture of this. All right, our histogram. Look at our histogram. It's right there. You know, it's low, but I mean, it's the end of the RGB comes right down to the edge right here. I think that's okay. I think it's okay. I think we're going to go with it. Let's and this is going to be a really good candidate for some live high dynamic range, some LHDR. I think we're going to do that. And then I think the beauty in this picture is going to be really when we post-process it. I think that's going to be really good. We could try to put a couple more seconds in. We're at 20 seconds. Let's oh, we got the sharpen on. Let's try a couple more seconds. You know, after 20, what's a couple more seconds, right? All right, let's see here. Let's do 3 more seconds. And we are guiding, and I'll show you that in a little bit, but our guider looks pretty good. It's guiding fairly well for, you know, kind of dancing around. So when you're guiding, you know, it's focused on a star, and if that star is bouncing around because of seeing, it'll tell the mount to bounce around too. Oh, that brightened it up just a little bit. I think we're pretty good. We don't look overexposed on the stars. No, I think that's good right there. Let's leave it at 23. Let's leave it at 23, and then our histogram looks good. It didn't really change that much. Let's go ahead and start a stack. I know this isn't quite as bright when you're looking at it on the phone, but as we get our LHDR, our high dynamic range, and we start pulling our white point down on our histogram, it should start to get brighter. And then when we do our post-processing, that's when the magic is going to happen. And I think this is going to turn out pretty good, because seeing is pretty good, and it's super dark. There's no moon. No moon is good moon, especially if you're trying to look through a telescope. We're out here. We're probably between a Bortle 3 and a Bortle 4 sky. Maybe right around a Bortle 4. But if the moon's out, you don't have a Bortle 3 or a Bortle 4 sky. You have, like, it's ridiculous. You got like a level Bortle 8 sky. And it's funny because being out here when it's dark like this, we didn't notice it as much. And don't get me wrong, at our old observatory it was dark, but when we came out here and it's like way darker, it's visibly dark. Well, it's not visibly, it's in the dark, but yeah, it's visibly darker. So any light almost feels magnified. When you have like light pollution, one more light doesn't really make a big deal. You can't really tell. But when you're out here and like the porch light is on in the house, it's like, it's crazy how much light that one light puts off. It's crazy. So, and we have like, we have a prison, we have a lot of prisons out here. Florence, Arizona has lots of prisons. That's okay. It's good for the economy. It gives everybody a job. But we have a prison not too far from here, and it's like, it is ridiculous. It is like a city. It is so big. Now that is in the north. It's west northwest of us, and it does put off a little bit as a sky glow, but we really don't see over there too much. That's true, James. If it wasn't dark, you couldn't see this nebula. You are correct. How you doing, buddy? I'm glad you could pop in for a little bit. So, so that does give a little sky glow over there. Sometimes it's a lot of sky glow. So when it's super dark out, it actually magnifies it. But luckily, we don't look over there really for too much of anything. And usually, if we have to look over that way, we'll try and pick a target that's closer to the zenith, so we're pointing up and not out towards it. But yes, this is good. Now look at this right here. We've got, it'll be a little bit slower tonight. Oh, we got 6 frames in this already. Look at this. Look at this star right here. Look how red that is. That is crazy. I mean, it's bright red. And then here's another one that's red too. Now, when we did Thor's helmet, I don't know if I mentioned this I think I might have mentioned this the last stream. James. That's pretty good. James just said his wife threw a shoe at the screen because she saw a spider. That's really good. That's good. But I don't know if I mentioned this last stream. I think I may have. But I noticed that when we did Thor's helmet, I had a lot of red on the star right here, and it was kind of on this side, but it was all of them, a lot of them. And I was wondering if that wasn't collimation issues with the hyperstar. And they said no, they don't think so. That looked like a little bit of focus. I could have been a little better on focus, but I was overexposing on stars, and that threw that red halo. And they said if I were to turn the exposure down, those stars would have turned red, or whatever color they are. And this, like this one, is a red star. How do you get clean in outer space? You take a meteor shower. Very good. Excellent, excellent. I actually think that's funny. Yeah, some of those jokes are great. All right, we got 10 frames. Oh, 11 now, because I've been talking. We've got 11 frames. I think this is going to be pretty good. My co-host is probably yelling because I'm not zoomed in. Oh, oh, but look at this. Look at this detail right through here. I mean, it's not a super bright nebula, and we're starting to get some good detail in there. This is going to be pretty cool. And down here, this is the Fly Nebula. Let's see, there it is. Now, I'm not sure why they call that a fly. I don't really see it. Maybe somebody else sees it, but I don't really see it as a fly nebula. But that's a cool little nebula. And if you were here for the last stream, we did the Fossil Footprint Nebula, and it was also kind of small like this, but it was super bright, and it almost looked like a mountain in space, more than a fossil. To me, it looked like the top of a mountain. It was very, very cool. All right, 13 frames. Let's start it. Let's do we're going to bring our histogram. We're going to come down a little. We don't want to kill this. We don't want to overexpose the stars. So we'll just go down a little bit because we want to get to about between 32 to 36 frames for our live high dynamic range. And then we have a little bit of sharpening on. That should be pretty good. And then our histogram looks really good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, once you get past 10 frames on your stack, no matter what you're in, this is generally for all programs. Once you get about 10 frames or so in your stack, you've started to get like a good, clean black base to it. And that's what you want. I'm going to check. I'm going to show you. Here, I can show you our guiding. Now, there we are. We are guiding right here. As you can see, right here, this is the commands for the telescope. The red is the declination, and the blue is the right ascension on your telescope. We are pretty steady. I know that doesn't look like it's steady, but yes, it's pretty steady. When it's not guiding good, this thing will jump up and down like a heartbeat, and then it's not good at all. And then as you can see over here, where this little square is, the cross, that is the star that PhD2 is focused on. And it reads that star, and then it talks to the computer through ASCOM as a program, and it talks back to the mount and tells it which way to go to keep that star right where it's at. I don't know how all this works. Luckily, when you plug it all in and and you do the little, we're supposed to do some kind of calibration on this thing. I just kind of fudged it, and we're doing good. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's see. We are at 18. Let's go down just a little bit more. We'll keep hitting this just a little bit at a time. Every few frames, we'll jump down a little bit and get a little whiter picture. The live high dynamic range. So we're going to take that picture that we've stacked maybe 10 or 12 times, and it's kind of dark, and we're going to take the white point of our histogram, and then we're going to move that down, and that makes the picture lighter. And then when we do that, we stack that on top of the next one, and we just keep doing that, and this way it doesn't blow out the stars. It's kind of amazing how it works, but it's really good. And there's some guys on the Mountain Camp site, and they have a couple different ways of doing this. They can use the sequence generator, which is in the trigger function. I have never used that. This is the way I do the live high dynamic range, and I think a couple other guys do it this way too. It's a little more interactive. I like it. I like to be interactive with it keeps me tinkering, and that's what I like about this. Don't forget, let me zoom in for our co-host says something. All right, that looks really cool. Look at that amazing star right there. That is super, super cool. And now we're zoomed in, right? We're zoomed in at 90%. Look at all the stars in this very tiny section of sky. That is unbelievable. There's like 1,000 of them in there or more. That's crazy. I've never seen it. It's unbelievable. So, and some of these stars look like they're like egged. They are not. They are just stars stacked on top of stars. That's how many there is out here. So let's see here. This one right here looks like it's on my screen. Now, do you see how that looks egged? That's actually, look, and there's another twin star, and there's another twin star. That is crazy. And there's another red star. Unbelievable. That's why, I like clusters. I know my beautiful co-host, she's not the biggest fan of clusters, but there's so many stars in them. I think they're cool. I mean, obviously you can't spend tens of hours of time on them because they kind of are what they are. I don't think you can really stack them too much. You could stack them to get a better background and all, and make them a little clearer. But you're not going to do any post-processing to them and get some bring amazing colors out of it. But they do have some very cool colors. Like, I think there's one called the GoldenEye cluster. I think I've done that before. I'm pretty sure. And it has it looks gold. It's very cool. And then the Great Hercules cluster is amazing. There's bazillions of stars in it, and it's a very small object, and you can zoom in on it, and it's super cool. There's just some really cool ones, and some of them actually look like what they say, but most of them don't. All right, we were at 26. Let's get down here. Let's start getting down. All right, here we are, and let's see how our Fly Nebula, and this is NGC. It's going to tell me here in a minute because I can't remember. 1931, the Fly Nebula. All right, let's see here. Let's go down. I'm going to drop this just a little bit more, and then while we're getting our last frames in here before our post-processing, let's talk about IC 417, the Spider Nebula. Let's see here. Okay, let's see what NASA, because we love NASA here. Let's see what NASA has to say about IC 417. Let's see here. The spider-shaped gas cloud is actually an emissions nebula labeled IC 417, while a smaller fly-shaped cloud off the image is dubbed NGC 1931. Both are emission nebulas and a reflection nebula. Oh, I did not know that. Let's see, about 10,000 light years distance. Both stars harbor young, open star clusters. How they know that those star clusters are young, I have no idea. It just seems crazy that they know that. It really does. But there we go. 10,000 light years. A light year, I hope my co-host is still watching and she can chime in. I'm pretty sure she told me a light year was 6 trillion miles. So 10,000 times 6 trillion. I can't do the math because I'm not very good at math. But if you could do the math and you had a calculator, you would see just how long it would take you to get in your Oldsmobile and get on down there. Do you remember? I'm not going to sing the song, the Ideal song. I'm too old for that. All right, let's see here. And then the Fly Nebula. Oh, they are located approximately, there's an observatory.com here. They are located approximately 10,000 and 7,000 light years respectively from Earth. Very interesting. Very cool. Very cool. We love the Fly Nebula and we love the Spider Nebula. You guys remember that movie, The Fly, with Jeff Goldblum? That's a very cool movie. Let's see here. We are at 33. We want to get down to that 150 mark. We may even try and get just a little bit lighter and let it go just a few more frames for this. and we'll try and get down on our LHDR just a little bit more, because there's some good information in here, and then we're going to post process, and then we're going to see how it turns out. And then I had someone comment on YouTube, and they said thank you for because the last stream I did post processing in the GIMP, so maybe we'll do that again tonight. And they thanked me for showing them the GIMP, because if you have the GIMP, I'm not sure about Adobe Photoshop. I've never really used it, but I know the GIMP, when you open it, it looks like alien speak, and there's like tons of stuff in there, and it's very overwhelming. It's really not once you start playing with it, and hopefully maybe I'll show you just a little bit of what we do in the GIMP. It's just a little bit more refined than Malincam Sky for post-processing, but Malincam Sky is awesome because we can do it all right here and get a good picture. Let's see here, we're at 36 frames. Let's go ahead and jump down a little bit more. Oh, this is looking really good. Wow, look. Now look, we've been letting this stack and doing LHDR, and look at these like billowing little clouds right here that have just appeared out of there. That is cool. 10,000 light years away, and it's on our computer screen. How amazing is that? That is, I would have never even thought. When I was young, and that's been a long time ago. When I was young, I never did I even imagine that when I was older, I'd be in my own observatory with an amazing telescope and a computer looking at the universe. Isn't that crazy? I never thought that. But here we are, and we're doing it. It's very cool. Very cool how life leads you in crazy places. But look at this right here. Look at this wave coming off of here. That looks super cool. Let's see, how are we doing on guiding? We're doing pretty good on guiding. Our hot pixels have moved just a little bit. Our guiding says it's pretty good, but the seeing is not that good. Don't get me wrong, it's clear out, but the stars, like if you tuned in earlier and you were on here, you saw how I zoomed in and you could see that the stars jump around a little bit, and then the guider tries to follow that. All right, let's see how NGC 1391, I believe it is, or 1931, excuse me, is doing. And there's our Fly Nebula. That's got some cool little stuff coming off of it right here. And look at these stars in here. Boy, they are like packed in there. That is crazy. Amazing, amazing. 36 degrees out here tonight. It's been super cold. This is like being at the North Pole. If you're in Arizona, 36 is like, well, not 36. Maybe 46 is like being at the North Pole. Right now we're in the Arctic, 36. It's crazy. It's crazy cold. All right, let's go down just a little bit more. Let's get her down here. We're about like 120 on our histogram. We're going to let just a few more frames tick off, and then we're going to do some post-processing. Yeah, unfortunately, when you get these harder targets like this is not like a super easy target to acquire. It just takes longer. That's why if you look at some of these pictures on the internet and you go to their pages, and they'll tell you these guys have like hours of integration on like one photo. They'll come out and photograph it one night, come out and photograph it another night, and put different filters and all this stuff in, and then they'll come out and do all their darks and all their flats and stuff like that, and then they'll combine them all in these. It's a very lengthy process, but their work really shows for it. Some of them are just absolutely, truly, they're breathtaking. It's so amazing. The way some of these people do this. We don't like to do that here. We want instant gratification. No hours of picture taking here. All right, we're at 45. Let's go ahead and we're going to let that stack, and let's take our picture. All right, let's see. Let's go to our live processing screen here and see what we can do with IC 417, the Spider Nebula. It really doesn't look like a spider right now. I don't know why they call it a Spider Nebula. Let's see here. Let's go do our range first. Oh, we got quite a bit of range to play with here. Look at that. We're going to make that black. All right. Oh, that looks amazing. And we kind of see that H2 region kind of pop out. Look at all the stars in that. Dude, that's crazy. Look at all the stars. That's nuts. There is literally thousands of stars in here. And that could be us right here, this little one right here. If they were looking from over there, if there was aliens there and they were looking through their telescope at us, that's what we would look like in the Milky Way galaxy. That's crazy. All right, and just think, the light reaching us from this is 10,000 light years old. If you can if you can grasp that. I can't. I can talk about it, but I don't understand it. All right. Let's do our curve. All right, we're going to do our astro curve. Oh, it's popping out pretty good. Wow, there is a lot of H2 region around here. Look at that. Well, I guess like if this was the spider body, maybe this could be the legs. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what they're thinking. Maybe this is the abdomen and this is the head. I'm not. Oh man, maybe. Okay, let's do a little red. Oh, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. Let's say okay on that. Let's take another snap. And that snap was at 50 frames. 50 frames. All right. Let's open this in the GIMP. Let's do it. So we're gonna save this as, and oh, we're in here. IC17, the Spider Nebula. Oh wow, I wonder why it did that already. I must have been in there last. Okay, so remember, name your file. Put dates and stuff on it, because you are not going to remember it. Once you start getting a lot of photographs, it's really hard to keep track of them. Let's do, it is 01/11/24, and we're going to do raw because this is just a raw stack image. It's just a TIF. We're going to save that. All right, let's see here. And then we are going to open this. And that should open in the GIMP. Oh, there it is. All right, there we are in the GIMP. Now, if you're not sure, I went over it a little bit the other night. Hold your mouse right in the middle, hit the plus button, and that'll zoom you right in. All right, and then let's get rid of this telescope control. Okay. You can go to your colors, and then there's a bunch of stuff in here you can do. Some of these I don't know what they do. I do, but not really. Now here you go. Curves, level, brightness, contrast, exposure. Color balance. You can do a color balance on it too. We're not going to do a color balance. Let's see. And also you can do like a histogram equalization on it, but we're not going to do that either. Let's go to levels. Now this is the same as range on Mountain Camp Sky, but we have output levels, and then we have the input levels. But we're going to do the input levels, and this is like the range. If you can kind of tell though, that it almost feels like it makes it a little darker in the GIMP. And then this is the same as your histogram. If we brought this down, that would start lightening at just like that. That's like an exposure lightning. It's almost like a curve. You can get it, if you get it too much though, it starts to get very grainy, and you don't want it to get grainy. So let's do that right here. And then you can do this to make it even blacker. There's just like a middle slider right there. Let's go ahead and hit reset. And then we'll bring our range or our input level right up to there, make it nice and black. And then we'll go into, we'll click OK, and then we'll go into the curves on the GIMP. And this is your alpha curve. Now there, it lists your histogram in the GIMP. So let's grab it back here. And it already looks like it's way lighter than it was in the GIMP or in Malencamp Sky. All right. I think right about there. I think that looks pretty good. We need to be just a little bit lighter in for the stream. It doesn't really need to be on my monitor or when I post a picture, but for viewer viewing, I think it's better if it's just a little lighter. And then we can do the red. And this seems, the GIMP seems like as soon as you start to move the slider, it put tons of red in there. You don't want to overpower it, but you want it to be there. And if you bring this back up, that will sort of tone down that red. And there's a lot of red in this. There's a lot of red in here. Maybe we'll take just a little out because this is supposed to be black. That looks very good. I'm gonna click OK on that. And then we can come back to levels again. Now you see our histogram has moved to the right. Now we have a little bit of range to play with. And we can make that dark again. And if we wanted to make it darker, we could make the right hand slider go over. And you can see that the center is still glowing. The outside edges are probably not going to get too much lighter. If we were to do more LHDR or take if we were to go back and stop our stack and readjust our exposure time, we could stack very light exposures on top of the other ones. And there's a lot of different ways that you could do this to get a better picture. But it does take quite a bit of time. We've been on this 43 minutes. Well, a bunch of the time I've been blabbing, but we have been on here quite a bit, and it's just one picture. So you could see how easily when you look on some of these pictures that other people do, how they could have hours and hours in a picture. All right, I think that looks pretty good right there. That looks amazing. Okay, but while we're in here, let's do our, oh, we can see the Fly Nebula down here too. Oh, look at that, it really popped. Let's put our watermark on here. Let's see, open recent, and I made the watermark. It's easy to make in the GIMP. You just do an edit and a copy. It's on a transparent background. So if you want a watermark like your observatory or whatever you're doing, your astronomy, a sort of catchphrase, you want to put that on there, you can copy that and then edit, and then you can paste into selection right here in this little scale tool. You'll click your scale tool and then you can drag it and make it bigger. There we go, just like that. And then you can move it down. Let's move it down here, out of the way. We don't want to cover up all those beautiful stars right there. And then go back to your move tool. Click that, and then click anywhere in the picture. Boom, it anchors it. Oh, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying the streams. I don't know if my commentary is very good, but I got to do something in here for 45 minutes. We just can't stare at the wall and watch the paint dry. But this has turned out pretty good. Now remember, in the GIMP, you can't save as. You have to export. So if you hit save as, and it saves it as like a GIMP file or something like that, and then you can only open it in the GIMP. But we're going to export as, and then we are already in our directory that we want to be, and then we are going to call it 01 11 24, and we're going to put GIMP after this. This way, when we know we went back in there, that we did edit it with the GIMP, and this is an edited file and not the raw file. Oh, I have to put JPEG on there. We're going to put it as a .jpg because that's what we're going to publish. That makes them a little bit smaller. That's super cool to have people, you know, there's quite a few people that watch that don't even ever say anything. It's very cool. Let's see here. We're going to make that quality is 100% and then export. All right, that's it. There you go. That's how you do it in the GIMP again. Discard changes because we already saved it. Let's go back to our live scene here. Now let's see. This has been stacking. I let this go. We are at 71. And we're finally starting to get some movement in our hot pixels. That's because of the seeing tonight. The guiding's kind of bouncing up and down. Now, if you were to see real quick in here, oh, you can't see it. There's a big spike right here. You can see the top of it. So that's when those stars kind of bounce around. And usually, I don't know all the ins and outs, but there's like a PEC error that comes into your mount every time the gear comes around. I'm not sure how all that stuff works, but it is that's what happens there. All right. So now let's we can go down here to folders, and we're going to go to IC, not NGC, IC 417, and then we can open this right here with the GIMP. Right here. There it is. Okay, so there it is. There's our picture for the night. Let's zoom in here and see what we got. Look at the amazing detail that we have pulled out of here from doing some LHDR on this target. That is amazing. Look at these like billowing pieces coming out of here. That is super. Look at these stars right here. This right here, it almost looks like it shouldn't be like that, and that is stars stacked on top of stars. Oh, unbelievable. I love it. It's very exciting. All right. What a very cool picture. And there, look at all the stars in here. This has got to be one of the pictures that's had the most stars in it I've ever seen. Crazy. And there we go. NGC 1391. Oh, 1931. NGC 1931. And this is the Fly Nebula. And if you look right here, this blue, that is a reflection nebula. The reflection nebula really doesn't show up in filters. You usually have to get that without a filter, but because we have our L-Enhance, Oplong L-Enhance filter, we get this and we get the reflection nebula. It's absolutely awesome. There it is, everybody. Not quite as spectacular as some of the other ones, but I mean, it's hard to believe that this is out here 10,000 light years away. This is amazing. Just the amount of stars in here is absolutely thrilling. I love it. I'm glad I can show you this because this is a kind of a harder target to get, and I like that we can do this, and then we can go back and compare to see what other people did. Don't compare it to the James Webb or the Hubble because we're not quite there yet. Almost, though. I think so. Well, I'm not really. All right, this has been great. What a great target. This has been fun. We've been on here for we've used up just about an hour already, but this has been super fun. I had to get out here when it was cleared, even though it was a little turbulent tonight, but that's okay. All right, everybody, there it is. I'm going to post the fossil footprint nebula that we did the other night that I forgot. I'm sorry about that. And then I'll post this one tonight too. This is IC 417, the Spider Nebula, and NGC 1931, the Fly Nebula, which is his little buddy right here, the Spider and the Fly. I think there's a book about that. I think that's what my daughter says. but very cool, very beautiful, beautiful stars, beautiful stars. I love it. Look at these stars right here, this big pack of them. Unbelievable. All right, everyone. There it is. We went from this to this. That is amazing. Unbelievable. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. I know it's getting, some of these streams get a little late. It's a night owl sport, even though I'm not a night owl. Well, I used to be, but not anymore. Thank you for coming out. We'll be back out here hopefully in the next few days. I think it's supposed to be clear this weekend, and if it is, we're going to do an awesome stream. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to pick out a good target, and it's going to be great. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here at Starlight Starbright Observatory. Good night.